Hello, friends and adventurers. Welcome to Iconic Classes and Backgrounds, Priest or Cleric. Today we'll be exploring this iconic class, but as interesting 5 different rarely played archetypes. Very rarely. Also, welcome to the DM table. I'm M. So, Priest usually sees play as this jack-of-all-trades priest, which a lot of the times is like Friar Tuck in Robin Hood, where Priest provides a bit of advice, a bit of priestly abilities, a bit of healing, a bit of this and that, and is generally well beloved in the party. But what about these other, very rarely utilized backgrounds for the priest? At number 1, we have Avatar. What about a priest that is so much a figure of their faith that they are otherworldly, in fact, that they so much emphasize, so much project their faith, their sphere, their influence, their presence, their task on the world, that they are like a figure of their powers, of their philosophies, of their abilities. They are strange and otherworldly, they are deep and mystical, they are representative to the extreme of their faith, and yet it's not like they're stiff and unyielding necessarily. It's not like we need to go for the hard to get along with archetype immediately. No. What about a priest that is all this and yet still succeeds to go through their way, to attend the party properly, to just be strange enough yet close enough, yet familiar enough, but not by familiarity at all. It's on the player to roleplay such a priest, such a cleric, such a divine representation of an individual, but in sort of compatible ways that are cleverly improvised at times, that are just surprising in how compatible they are, that are twists and turns of the philosophy of that faith that allow it to function more efficiently, because every faith wants to show that they are efficient, that they are good at what they do, that they are worth attending to. So, therefore, this priest is also very, well, playable, shall we say. Not some sort of complete outcast and hard to talk to, not at all, just quite a mystifying presence, at the very least. Quite a pleasure to get along with, perhaps. Maybe even surprisingly so. Maybe by surprise, specifically. It's always fun to have something that will look like a friendly treachery turning to a friendly non-treachery. You know, have you ever had such a character in your, well, campaigns of any sorts? At any rate, speaking of philosophies, at number 2 we have the Philosopher, which does see some play, but it's rare enough. And we don't have to have a priest or a cleric that doesn't have a god for this, or gods. We do not need to have such a cleric because philosophies are very varied, and there's no reason to dispense with faith for a Philosopher priest, not at all. Many priests can be played as a person of learning that is interested in pursuing their studies, pursuing their meditations, pursuing their teachings and learnings, not just teaching others, oh no. They are but a student of the world, and they want to expand their abilities, expand their thoughts, expand their philosophy, but within themselves. They want to refine themselves. They want to cultivate a finer being, a higher being, a being that understands more, that sees more, that perceives more through their passion for the world and their teaching of their faith, of their philosophy, of their logic, of their practices. They want to pursue those goals, and this is rich grounds for campaign. This is also rich ground for quests. This is also rich ground for side quests. So, rich ground it is for everything. And I believe many a player would enjoy trying out this sort of a class background. So, have you tried it yet? Now, at number 3, we have Blessed Individual. Blessed Individual is this child touched by gods, but, you know, not necessarily a child. Just approach to this background as to a miracle worker. This is somebody who has had potentially a blessed life, or has been a martyr or something, but they have been touched by God, and so much so that every move is graceful and incredible. But this is different from the avatar of fate. This is different in so much that this could be a person that doesn't even know anything about the teachings and represents stuff coincidentally, or by divine guidance, or just by their abilities and feats. Whether a charmed life, a life of mystery and mysticism, or a life of martyrdom, but this background just brings miracles into everyday party. It just touches from above, because they get involved with the divine in such a direct manner. A more serious background for the Chosen One archetype, where this is actually the Chosen One. So, as such, this is an interesting background to explore, with Priest being a wonderful class for this. So you can try that one as a player, or even try as a dungeon master to see if you can have such a character in your campaign. Next thing, at number 4, we have an ambassador. Now, ambassador is cleric or a priest of worldly affairs that needs to deal with managerial tasks. This person is head of their church, of their temple, of their order, or of their class. They are a teacher, a figurehead, and or somebody that runs things. They need to be not just the one who manages all these affairs of the church or whatever it is, but also perhaps be an official ambassador to businesses both far and near. And this I have seen done in historical campaigns, but not otherwise. But it's a very interesting archetype and can expand upon the world greatly. And yes, as a player you can choose it, and your DM will probably be able to provide the depth of hierarchy and other things needed for such a thing for the setting. And as such, much of interesting diplomatic play will be had back and forth, and maybe the campaign is all about this anyways. So try some sort of high face of the church once in a while and see how that catches you. And finally, at number 5, we have the Remnant. This is the sort of person that is the last of their kind, the last of their fate, the last of their race. They can be some sort of alien or ancient mystic, or some other creature of unexpected race or origin. They can be something that is lonely and unique, and they're like a last unicorn, but they're a priest of this maybe fate, maybe situation, because maybe they are just a natural extension of the race. Sometimes a race as a class does make sense. It did not make as much sense, in my opinion, when it was, elf is this and human is that, but as a priest for some sort of intricately connected to the divine forces creature of an ancient or far removed from regular race's race, then that does make sense, and we can have a unique race appear here, having their own campaign. What do they need to accomplish in the world? What are they living and holding on to? As the last of their kind, or maybe first of their kind, what are they there to accomplish? What are they there to see? What are they there to witness? What is their role that they have either chosen or fallen into? And what is their destiny? What is their fate? So, players, adventurers, dungeon masters, if you thought this was unique, maybe you can spare me a little click and I'll be sure to give you more next and perhaps even every week. Of course, I'll make more character backgrounds for classes and so on, but we'll have all kinds of mixed content in between. But every week there'll be an episode. So I hope to see you there next time And do not forget to comment in the way where you get your questions answered, because I would love to talk to you all and answer all your questions. See you next time. Bye.